Hello and welcome to another tutorial. In this tutorial we're going to see how we can create a skiing game. This is Ellie and this is your place to learn to code and have fun. Let's dive in. First of all, let's see how the game works. So I press my right and left arrow key to move the skier to the left and right, and I need to avoid the obstacles like the tree or anything that I see here. And you see on the left there is a score, so whenever I pass the obstacle my score goes up one level, and if I hit I'm game over like this. Okay, let's see how we can make it. If you would like to follow along, go ahead and create a new project from scratch.mit.edu and then give a good name to your project. I'm gonna name it Skiing Game. By the way, this tutorial was requested, and if you too have a request on what you would like to learn, go ahead and put it in the comment and I try to create that tutorial for you. So I'm gonna delete this cat as well. I'm gonna use different sprites. So we need a backdrop and a skier and some obstacles, so I'm gonna create them first. For skier you can go and download something from the internet, but I'm just gonna keep it simple, so I'm downloading this one, and let's make the size small enough that makes sense. I'm gonna make it 40, and then I'm gonna modify it a bit. So I go to custom. Let's see what we have here. I think just this neutral position is good enough for skiing. This one is also not bad, but just let's keep it simple. Yeah, I'm gonna keep these two. So let's draw the ski shoes. I'm taking this paint and I'm drawing one ski and the second ski. You can choose whatever color you want, and then I'm filling it with this. It obviously doesn't really look like ski, but it's good enough for what I want to do because I'm just gonna give a demo, and you can take your time and draw as perfect as you would like to. So I'm gonna group the whole thing together here, and now I'm putting the shoes here and here. You can always click here and rotate it to make it just like the dimension, that the direction that you would like to. And also with this front and back, you can make sure that the ski is at the back, so it shouldn't cover the character. We also need the poles. I'm gonna go ahead and draw a line. I'm gonna give it a bit of a width. Yeah, so one pole and the other pole, and let's a little sharp part here, something like this. Now let's group each of them to make it one, so that it's not gonna separate. And this one in this hand and this one in the other hand. Let's rotate it a little bit. It's obviously not perfect, but for what we want is good. All right, and also let's click on Ctrl A and group the whole thing all together. Now to make it simpler, I'm gonna delete this one. Now duplicating this, so I have this here, Abby right, and I named the other one Abby left. And what I'm gonna do is I select the whole thing by Control A and mirror this one so that it looks like she's looking at the left. So here we go, we're done with the sprite. Now let's also create a backdrop. For the backdrop, I'm gonna choose just a simple blue sky, and then using the line, I'm gonna draw one diagonal line here and one diagonal line here, so it resembles the ski hill, kind of. I just want to pretend it's a ski hill. Let's also put a bit of obstacles here. I'm gonna choose 3. Actually, the obstacle should be from the sprite, so I'm gonna choose 3. I choose this one. It's not actually a winter tree, but it's more fantasy, so I'm just gonna choose it. Let's also pick one more. Maybe, what shall we use? What do we have on a ski resort? Like, how about stone? Rock. Yeah, we have rocks, so I'm also gonna take some rocks. Okay, now let's get into writing the code. One more thing we need is a variable for score. In order to be able to keep track of the scores, I'm gonna click on variable and I'm gonna make a variable, naming it score, and it's for all the sprites. Okay, and as a starting point, I'm gonna set my variable to 0. So when start clicked, I'm gonna set it to 0. So when we are not playing yet, there is no score. Fair enough. So make sure you change this to score. And now let's see what other things need to be done when we click start. When I click start, I want my character to be at the top of the page. Let's say here. So not here. So when I click on the character, I would like to say when start clicked. Now that I put this character here by my mouse, if I go to X and to the motion, the X and Y location now matches the location of here. So I only drag it right here. Also, I want my character to be at the 90 degree. So what do I mean by that? I'm gonna tell you in a minute. So I say point in direction 90. So what do I mean by saying point in direction 90? In order to understand, if this is my character, here is the direction. If it's like this, I'm on the 0 degree, and if I want it to be upright standing, I should rotate 90 degrees. So now my character is pointing to 90 degrees. So that's what I want my starting position to be. Now let's control the character movements to left and right by pressing on right and left arrow keys on the keyboard. So I want to say when, not space, but when right arrow clicked, what I want to do is first I want the custom to be this one. So I would say I go to the looks and I would say switch custom to Abby right. Other than that, I want it to, the direction, I want it to be like this. So let's say point to direction 105, motion, point in direction instead of 90, 105. And I also want to move a little bit to the right, so change X by maybe 10. So if I play start and I press my right arrow, that's what happens. I want to write a similar thing for the left arrow. So to make it easy, I duplicate this, I put it here, and I change this to left, switch custom to left, and for the direction, if let's press left. So if this is my character, when I'm turning right, left, I want it to point to something less than 90. Let's say 63 or maybe 75. So point in direction 75, and also go to the left means change X by minus something like 10 or whatever. Let's play start. I go right, I go left. So the skier is moving, but it doesn't look like it's going down. So in order to make it look like it's going down, instead, I'm gonna move other items up to create the illusion that the skier is going down. So this goes up and this goes up, so that I feel that the skier is going down. So let's write the code for that one as well. In order to move the obstacles up, what I need to do is start from any position across this line at the bottom and then glide all the way up and then disappear, wait a few minutes, and then go back down, appear, and repeat. So I need a forever loop. I'm gonna say forever height first, and then I want to start from a random location across this line. For that, I'm gonna create a variable. I'm gonna name it x3 exposition 3, or like x position 3 start. So by this I mean the initial location that this tree is gonna start. Now I'm gonna set the value of this start position. So set x position to, let's go to operator, a random location between, let's say here at the very end, which is gonna be minus, let's say 200 to 200, and then I would say go. So now I'm gonna say from where I want to start. So go to x, which is this variable, which we have set it already on the line before, anywhere across here, randomly generated, and I want it to be at the very bottom, not here or here, at the very bottom. So the y should be minus 180. All right, now it's here. I want it to glide all the way up, so I would say glide in 1 second, or whatever you want, depending on how slow or fast you want the skier to ski. Go to same x position, which was this one, x position to start, but this time I want it to be all the way up, because I want it to glide all the way up. So 180. One thing is, I need to make sure I'm showing it, so I can show it here. I can also change the costume so that every time that the tree is coming, it looks differently. And I'm going all the way up. What else? Let's run it and see so far what we have. Oh, I didn't put the start clicked on the top. Okay, now let's see. So yeah, the tree is going up, and every time it's going, it looks differently. And so far, so good. Let's also put a bit of weight after so that it looks more natural. Like right now it's a bit super fast. So let's also wait 1 second here. All right, now let's do a trick. Let's copy the whole thing here for the rock as well, so that the rock is also gonna move. Let's see if it came, which is correct. Now let's see how it works. Actually, it didn't copy here. Let's try again. So I'm dragging it and I'm putting it on the rock. All right, now it's here. So start. I don't want to see this. I only need to see the score. So let's uncheck this one. We only have the score. Also, it doesn't look nice that both of the tree and rock are moving at the same time. So in order to fix that, let's go to the rock and let's put a weight here with a random weighting amount here. Also, let's make this one random as well, so we can create a more natural appearance of those items. Random between 1 to 3 and also 1 to 3. Let's see now. Okay, now let's play the game. So I start, I try to avoid the obstacles, and anytime. Okay, we didn't write the code for the score yet, but now I can move right and left. Now let's create the scores, program the scores as well. So what I want is anytime that I'm avoiding the obstacle, the character is avoiding the obstacle. I want the point to be up one, and whenever that is touching any of those items, those obstacles, I want the player to be game over. For the scores, all I need to do is changing the score by 1. So from the variables, I'm gonna just change score by 1 whenever I'm at the end of this movement. So whenever the tree or the rock gets to the top of the scene, the stage, I'm gonna increase the score. It means that it didn't hit the skier. I'm gonna do the same thing here. What is this? I have 2. Okay, so I'm gonna say change score by 1 here as well at the very end, or just after it reached the top. Also, let's program the game over, which is when touching. So for touching, we can use the sensing, and I'm writing the code for it. I'm gonna do control. We can do when start clicked, rocks, after that switch custom to collapsed. So I want to show that it's collapsed, so let's first create a custom for it. I'm gonna duplicate it and create a custom collapsed. For that, let's make it look like the abbey fell down. So everything scatters around the ski somewhere, and this one here, and she's gonna just collapse. Oh, poor Abby. Okay, now this is a collapse. So when touching those things, I want to change the costume to the one that I created just now. Switch costume to collapsed, and then here stop everything, stop all the script, which is on the control, stop all, which you see now it's not gonna move back to the original position. So let's again go to the costume and start as switch costume to here. So when we start is standing, and then when we are game over is collapsing. So just let's deliberately get game over. Yeah, let's also play a sound for it to actually make it look like a game. I'm going to the sound, and let's add something relevant for our game over. I chose this one, splash, but I'm gonna make it a bit softer to make it look like someone is falling on the snow. So I would say on the sound, play sound, splash until done. So let's play the game. I'm going right, left, and I try to avoid the obstacles. And now I lost the game and I got the game over. It was such a cool game. I really enjoyed playing it and developing it. I really hope you too also enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to press like, subscribe, and hit the bell so that you can get notification when I upload a new video. And this was a requested video by one of you, And if you too have some requests, go ahead and put it on the comment, and I try to make it as soon as I can. Thank you so much and see you soon. Bye.